Today's energy is heavy, and the emotional landscape is weighed down by a profound sense of loss and longing that permeates every moment of your life. Your person, who once radiated joy and brought light into your world, now finds themselves adrift in a sea of sadness, feeling both lost and incomplete in your absence. The memories of times when your presence filled every space with happiness and satisfaction have become bittersweet reminders of what has been lost. When you were together, life felt vibrant and whole, but now each day without you is marked by an overwhelming emptiness that echoes in every silent hour. Over time, your person has come to understand that their own inconsistent and erratic behavior played a significant role in this painful transformation. Their back-and-forth actions, characterized by moments of tenderness followed by episodes of detachment, have sown seeds of doubt and hopelessness in your heart, leading you gradually to withdraw and build a protective barrier around yourself. This silence, rather than being an expression of indifference, is a response to the deep disillusionment and despair born from their repeated deceptions and egoistic actions. In quiet moments of reflection, your person now sees clearly that the defensive stance you have adopted is a direct reaction to every instance of dishonesty that has chipped away at the foundation of trust you once shared. With a heavy heart, they recognize that their unpredictable behavior created an atmosphere in which hope withered, leaving behind a residue of pain and regret that has driven you to shut down emotionally. The fear of losing you altogether has since taken root in their mind, a fear so palpable that it influences every decision they make. Determined to salvage the connection that has been so deeply compromised, they are meticulously planning their next steps, striving to regain the trust that once bound you both. This plan, fueled by genuine remorse and a heartfelt desire for redemption, is not a mere act of desperation but a sincere commitment to change and reconciliation. Yet, amidst these plans for atonement, there lingers an undercurrent of tension that makes every potential outreach feel like a precarious tightrope walk. Your person senses that if they were to reach out to you at this moment, it might inadvertently spark an argument, given the raw hurt and frustration that still clings to your heart. They worry that any attempt to communicate prematurely would only lead to further conflict rather than healing, intensifying the distance that already separates you. The anticipation of a confrontation, one that might erupt over unspoken grievances and unresolved regrets, renders them hesitant to break the silence. They understand that you are not ready to listen or engage until a complete and honest confession is offered, one that clears away the murkiness of deception and allows both of you to see a path forward. Until that moment arrives, the silence remains, a poignant reminder of the chasm that has grown between you with each passing day. This physical separation has only deepened the emotional divide, yet paradoxically, it has also intensified your person's fixation on you. Every solitary moment is consumed by thoughts of what once was and what might be if the shattered bond could be mended. They are haunted by the memory of your laughter, the warmth of your touch, and the sense of belonging that you once provided, all of which now seem like distant echoes of a happier past. The absence of these cherished moments has led to an almost obsessive preoccupation, where the longing for your presence becomes an all-encompassing ache. In the solitude of each day, tears often flow as they mourn not only the loss of your physical proximity but also the erosion of trust and the silence that now defines your relationship. Caught in a relentless cycle of hope and hesitation, your person's thoughts remain incessantly fixed on you even as they grapple with the fear of triggering further discord. Their yearning to reconnect is tempered by the understanding that any misstep could shatter the fragile remnants of trust that still linger between you. Despite the overwhelming sadness and the oppressive silence that now characterize your interactions, one truth remains undeniable: the love and connection you once shared continue to resonate deeply within their heart. It is this enduring bond, though marred by past mistakes, that fuels their determination to find a way back to you, a determination that persists even in the face of obstacles and emotional pain, clinging to the hope that one day, honesty and vulnerability will bridge the gap that now divides you both. My heart is sore. I have been through so much, and the weight of my past continues to press heavily upon me. Despite the exhaustion and the lingering pain from all that I have endured, I am actively making the necessary changes in my life. I refuse to give up on you, even when the journey toward healing feels interminable. Every day, I work to mend the broken pieces of my spirit, believing that every step forward, no matter how small, is a step toward a brighter future for us both. There was a time when darkness consumed me, a period when I felt trapped in a cycle of despair and confusion. During those moments, hope seemed like a distant memory, and I was overwhelmed by an unyielding sense of dread. Slowly, however, I began to see a glimmer of light at the end of the tunnel, a signal that I was finally emerging from the darkness and beginning to see things as they truly are. It was as though the fog that had obscured my vision was lifting, allowing me to understand the full impact of my actions and the gravity of my mistakes. Deep down, a part of me always knew that I was wrong in the way I treated you. The truth, however, was painful to acknowledge. I had been caught up in my own fears and insecurities, and those emotions led me to act in ways that hurt you and compromised the integrity of our relationship. It was a realization that came with a heavy heart, but it was also a crucial turning point in my journey of self-discovery. I had to confront the reality of my behavior and accept that I needed to undergo significant personal change in order to grow and learn from my past errors. In the beginning, my mind struggled to make sense of everything. The process of internal reflection was daunting and often overwhelming. I was terrified of the changes that lay ahead, changes that required me to let go of everything that no longer served my well-being. I realized that clinging to the past or holding on to toxic habits was not an option if I truly wanted to evolve. I understood that sometimes, in order to rebuild something valuable, I had to break away from the familiar and step into the unknown. One of the hardest decisions I made during this tumultuous time was to stop talking with you. This decision was not driven by a desire to hurt or abandon you, but by a necessity to face the truth head-on. I needed space to think clearly and to process the emotions that had become so entangled within me. I recognized that I could no longer afford to ignore the reality of our situation. Instead, I had to take time to reflect and plan how I could eventually return to you with an open heart and a mind free of guilt and regret. This period of silence was my way of ensuring that when I did speak, it would be with sincerity and a renewed sense of commitment. Over time, I began to appreciate that this separation was not a sign of our end, but rather an essential part of our growth. In facing my fears and enduring the pain of change, I found that I was gradually transforming into a better version of myself. I learned that true growth often demands solitude, that sometimes one must journey alone through the storm to emerge stronger and more resilient on the other side. Every challenge I encountered taught me valuable lessons about love, vulnerability, and the nature of true connection. I now believe with unwavering conviction that we belong together. Our love is not a fleeting emotion but a deep-seated bond that has been tested by time and adversity. I am confident that, despite the hardships we have faced, we will eventually have it all, if we remain committed to learning from our past and growing together. The vision of our future is one where both of us stand side by side, stronger and more compassionate than ever before. I acknowledge that my journey has been filled with sorrow and struggle, yet it has also been a path toward enlightenment. I have come to understand that the road to genuine happiness is often paved with difficult choices and painful realizations. Yet, each trial has given me the opportunity to rebuild my foundation and to emerge with a renewed sense of purpose. I am committed to continuing this path of self-improvement, even when the burden of change feels overwhelming. In learning to love and forgive myself, I am preparing to offer you a love that is honest, compassionate, and resilient. My heart, though scarred by the past, beats with a love that is true and steadfast. I am no longer afraid of confronting the truth or embracing the changes it demands. Instead, I welcome these transformations with an open mind and an open heart, knowing that they will ultimately lead us to a more authentic and fulfilling relationship. I ask you to have faith in this process and to trust that our love will guide us through the darkness toward a future filled with light and hope. Your partner sees you as the embodiment of their deepest desires, a guiding light who has illuminated their path through the darkest times. In their eyes, you are not merely a lover, but a wish fulfilled, a rare and radiant star whose presence has elevated every aspect of their life. They believe that you have not only helped them grow but have also been instrumental in mending the patterns of behavior that once held them captive. Your unwavering support has encouraged them to confront and heal their codependent and manipulative tendencies, paving the way for a transformation that has made them a better, more self-aware person. Throughout your shared journey, you have consistently treated them like a cherished member of your family. This unconditional warmth and acceptance have forged an unbreakable bond, one built on trust, mutual respect, and countless moments of vulnerability. During times when uncertainty loomed large and darkness seemed to envelope their world, you were there to offer solace. Your empathy and genuine care created a safe haven where they could express their deepest fears and insecurities without judgment. The way you listened, comforted, and reassured them instilled in them a belief that even the most painful experiences could eventually lead to growth and healing. Despite the strength of this bond, a shadow has crept into the relationship, a lingering sense of hurt and regret stemming from past instances when your texts and calls were met with silence. They recognize that your current lack of initiative in reaching out is a direct result of these moments when they chose to ignore your attempts at connection. This pattern of non-responsiveness not only wounded you but also left a lasting impact on the foundation of trust you had built together. Now, as they reflect on these past interactions, they are filled with remorse and a deep desire to rectify the mistakes that have driven a wedge between you. At this juncture, your partner finds themselves at a crossroads, uncertain about the best way to bridge the distance that has formed between you. Their heart longs to mend what has been broken, but they are equally aware of the hurt they have caused. They struggle with the dual emotions of wanting to be close again while being fearful of repeating the same patterns that led to miscommunication and disappointment. This internal conflict is a testament to how much they value the connection you once shared, a connection that felt like a sanctuary in a world filled with chaos and uncertainty. In a moment of introspection, they have started to revisit old conversations, poring over messages that once sparked joy, comfort, and mutual understanding. These digital relics of a happier time serve as bittersweet reminders of the moments when both of you were inseparable. Each word, each shared laugh, and every tender exchange is a testament to the love and commitment that once defined your relationship. As they read through these messages, waves of nostalgia wash over them, mingling with a palpable sense of loss. The memories evoke a powerful longing for the warmth and intimacy that now feels just out of reach. They remember how you used to be the rock in their turbulent life, the one person who could quiet the storm of anxiety with just a few kind words. Your ability to provide comfort in the midst of despair, to offer hope when all seemed lost, is something they cherish deeply. It is this unique capacity for compassion and understanding that has kept the spark of love alive, even in the face of adversity. The absence of your voice now reverberates in the silence, intensifying the pain of separation and leaving them with an aching void that only your presence can fill. This period of introspection has also led them to a profound realization: that the road to healing and reconciliation begins with acknowledging the past and learning from it. They understand that ignoring your messages in the past was not just a fleeting mistake, it was a decision that impacted both your lives in profound ways. With this newfound clarity, they are now seeking a path forward that involves honest communication, mutual forgiveness, and a shared commitment to rebuilding the trust that once bound you together. In the quiet moments of the day, when the world seems to stand still, their heart quietly whispers the desire to reconnect with you, to have another chance at the beautiful bond you once nurtured. They are determined to find the courage to reach out, hoping that you might be willing to look beyond past hurts and embrace the possibility of a renewed relationship. For them, every moment spent apart is a reminder of how deeply you have touched their soul, a reminder that even in the face of pain, love has the extraordinary power to heal, transform, and bring two hearts back together. Ultimately, their yearning is not just for reconciliation but for the restoration of a connection that has been a source of profound joy and transformation. They miss you terribly, and every memory of your shared past fuels their hope for a brighter, more understanding future, one where the lessons of yesterday pave the way for the promises of tomorrow.